pauses aren't too long and people give us negative comments. Anyway, hit me with this intro.
Got you. Ready? Are you ready for the intro?
Yeah.
Let's go. Welcome to another eye-opening episode of Real Estate Without Borders. Today, we're diving into the most fascinating property phenomenon in our time, which is Japan's Akiya, A-K-I-Y-A, for those of you that want to Google that, because I probably said it wrong. Now, imagine this, okay? 9 million, and I said that right, million empty houses scattered across one of the world's most expensive countries, some selling for less than the price of your morning coffee habit. As housing crises grip the major cities worldwide, Japan faces a unique predicament that's drawing attention from investors and dreamers alike. Crazy.
Yeah, it is funny. Also, how do you know about my morning coffee habit?
Yeah.
My expense.
Dude, honestly though, I've been crushing the coffee here. You know Jimmy's Coffee?
Yeah.
I'd love for them to sponsor me.
I like Timmy's.
I'd be able to buy
coffee.
a house.
Timmy's cooler than Jimmy.
Timmy's. You know what's funny? I haven't had Timmy's yet because I need to ease into the North American or like Canadian food.
It's Tim's is full laxative, right? Like you're guaranteed. You don't if you're backed up, just double,
One
man.
sip in. You have to have your first sip at home.
You can't do it in the road. You gotta have a bathroom nearby.
Disaster.
Anyway, that was not appropriate for the episode. In this episode, we're gonna unravel how cultural shifts, demographic changes, and urban migration have created a remarkable situation. It's not just happening in Japan, but we're going to talk about it in the context of Japan. We'll mention a couple of other places where this is happening, in where you have these ancient homes in beautiful, picturesque Japanese villages. Like think about the settings that you would see in like Princess Mononoke, or like another anime. What's the one with no face? I can't remember. Like I'm gonna look that up. But anyway, I mean these are basically being given away, and so we're gonna explore why these properties, which might seem like the deal of a lifetime, have kind of come and entrapped a lot of aspiring global investors who want to buy them, but they come with their own set of challenges and opportunities. So whether you're an investor, maybe a digital nomad who thinks they're going to go live in the mountains in Japan, or someone just fascinated by global real estate trends, I think you're going to enjoy this deep dive into Japan's empty house phenomena. So before we get into that,
sorry, go.
I was just going to say, what are the other kind of countries where we're seeing something similar happening?
Man, I was sorry before I had to. What's the commission on that? Yeah, 30 cents.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, if you're getting 3%, 3 cents for a buck.
You got to slang 4 million houses.
So this is why nobody's heard of these, is because North American realtors haven't got a hold of them yet, because there's no commission on them.
Fair enough. We're going to talk about, basically, you can buy a house in Japan for $1. It doesn't sound real, but we're going to get to the bottom of this. Hang in there. Similar trends in other countries where this is also happening to an extent. Some of you might have heard of these more commonly than, I think, Japan. Italy. Many rural villages offer homes for as little as €1 to attract new residents and revitalize abandoned communities. These incentives often require buyers to renovate the property within a specific time frame. I think it's like a year, 2 years maybe.
Yeah, and you have to like spend a certain amount too, like 20k euros or something. So like it ends up not actually being that good of a deal, because I like really looked into those ones, because I love Italy.
Everyone, you know what? I've never been, but I gotta go. I'm gonna go. I actually just bought tickets to the Winter Olympics in Italy.
Sick.
I know I'm gonna go watch the hockey down there. I think that'd be super cool.
Sick. Yeah, that's sick.
Spain, rural depopulation has led to numerous ghost villages, particularly in regions like Galicia and Asturias, where entire hamlets.
I thought you learned Spanish in Mexico.
Dude, I can't roll my R's, man. That's why I gave up, because I sound like an absolute idiot.
Just leaves Mexico. That's why I'm back in Canada now. I feel everybody made fun of me for the way I talked.
Hola. That's where entire hamlets are sometimes up for sale. What's a hamlet?
It's like a little village. Like you can literally buy an entire village in some of these places. Yeah, it's crazy, dude. There was actually a deal announced like a couple of years ago where like a resort company like literally bought one of these old villages. I think it was in Italy, but like, and they're going to turn it into a resort, because it was like this tiny little like fishing village, and it was super.
What a flex! As I'm going to put in my Instagram bio, hamlet, multi hamlet owner. This guy's got endless hamlets. Also, Greece. Many islands and rural areas face abandonment as younger generations move to urban centers, leaving behind traditional properties and family homes.
So this is something Yeah, we talked about
Yeah,
this in the missing middle episode as well, right? Like people are wondering, oh, why does everybody want to, what, the 15-minute cities conspiracy? But the reality is everyone's urbanizing. Like 80% of the global population is going to be urban. People are not living on these old, estates. Like, dude, there was a guy who's going to come on the show, that Afford a Home guy. Who, remember I sent you his thing? It was like
yeah,
there was
unreal.
an olive farm in like Greece for like
That's right.
400 grand, and it was like 200-acre olive farm. Like I'm like I guess you need, at that point you need like a PJ or like some way to get
For
there, because it
sure.
is super remote. But yeah, man, like this is the thing, is a lot of these old rural properties, they're basically just being left because nobody wants to buy them. Everybody's going to live in the cities, and now you've got all these beautiful old rural estates like in the mountains, or like, and yeah, I don't know. It's just super fascinating to me. And I think Europe's like really a canary in the coal mine, which what could happen to a lot of other places in the world as their populations age and young people start leaving the suburban areas.
True. No, that's a good point. And lastly, we got South Korea, which is similar to Japan. They face demographic challenges leading to rural property abandonment, like we just talked about, same kind of thing. So,
Yeah.
dude, you got to toss this photo up on the screen, man.
Yeah, I do, for sure. So, and I think the thing that really makes Japan unique is that it's the sheer scale, right? Like nowhere else has this issue that's happening at 9 million of these properties. Like, we can estimate it in some of these other countries, but like Japan's obviously it's a highly populous country, and so and it went through a huge boom. And if you kind of look back at Japan's economy, like it peaked in like the early 90s, right? And then it went through this
Right.
huge like deflation period. Their stock market literally just hit, like within the last year, just hit its 90s peak.
Wow.
But all of this to say, like, Japan kind of went through this big period, this big population explosion, and then now it's going through this demographic collapse, similar to Italy and similar to a lot of these other countries that we just listed. South Korea is another one. Their birth rates collapsed. This is why, and Japan hasn't backfilled a lot of that population decrease from their population aging and dying off. They haven't backfilled that with immigration, like places like Canada or the US have, or the UK is another good example. And so what this has resulted in is 9 million of these Akiyas, which is these empty houses across Japan. And that's according to official government documents as of 2023.
9 million is crazy. I'm trying to look into, without getting too off the train here. Obviously we're going to cover how investors turn these liabilities into assets, and like for like rentals and renovations. It's saying here, because I think I'm learning as we go, obviously. Discuss Shu Matsuo's model of profiting from Akiya for short-term stays and exploring different ROI avenues. I'm going to dive into this for us later.
Yeah. We're not going to do it right now. Just tell me.
Let's do it right now.
I'm intrigued. Like the suspense is killing me. Just going to hit me with that and be like, but.
Sorry. Okay. Let me give it to you. Shu Matsuo. I don't know who
I have
that
to
is.
say, so one of my favorite parts about like the fact that this podcast like is us traveling the world is getting to listen to you try and say words from other languages.
I'm still trying to master English, man, and you got me speaking Japanese over here. It's really unfair, to be honest. All right, Shu Matsuo posts model for Akiya investment as discussed in the context of Japan's real estate market refers to his strategic approach to helping foreigners and investors purchase, renovate, and profit from Japan's vacant homes, yada, yada, yada. As the founder of Post Fee and co-founder Akiya Hub, Shu leverages his expertise in real estate investor, educator, and bilingual, a consultant to simplify the complex process of acquiring and monetizing Akiya. His model is particularly appealing to international investors due to done-for-you service, which addresses language barriers, cultural nuances, and logistical challenges. So I'll talk about this in a second. So understanding the model, it's built on the premise that Japan's 9 million vacant homes represent a unique opportunity, obviously, for affordable real estate investment, particularly in rural or semi-urban areas, turning the properties into cash-flowing assets for non-residents and foreigners. Now let's see how education and transparency. So whoever this is, Shu. Who is this guy? Who's Shu Matsuo?
I'm subscribing to his site right now, though. So
yeah, let's follow this guy. This guy.
I'm clicking through. We are. That's why I'm trying to join so I can figure out how to.
Send Shu a DM. So he's educating people through his YouTube channel. Post Fee is the website. or
Yeah.
Akiya Hub, offering free guides on how to buy as a foreigner or paid courses. Genius. What a scumbag, though. Monetizing he owes, I want some commission referrals for my 30 cents for every house I sell. But basically, he's covering content on like how to do due diligence, check for termite damage,
Yeah, you can
earthquakes.
click on his website, Akiya Hub, and as well. He has post FI. I guess FI is financial independence. Is that what it's supposed to be?
I thought it was like a Japanese word like fee, but I could be wrong.
No, I feel like it's like FI, like the like the FIRE people, financial independence, retire early.
That's right.
Smart. I think that's what it's supposed to be. Yeah. Anyway, I clicked through this. So I clicked to start my journey today thing here, and then
how much is he charging you?
Clicked on all these buttons. Well, I don't know. I'm gonna find out. But it's like right here, and I go investment property, advanced. Clicked all my areas here. Then 100K maybe, more than a year. Ideal outcome. I'm just gonna see if it'll let me ghost that one. It did. That's cool. What is my Japanese proficiency level? Well,
Dave, my friend Dave,
maybe slightly better than Dave's, but probably none. Tell us about yourself. I'm gonna fill it out, and then let's just hit the send button. See what happens. Please review our terms.
Your Foch just signed up for a lifetime membership.
Signed away my kidney. And I got to get my code from Gmail here. Anyway, I don't know. Let's see what happens. Going. Tell me more about this system that this guy's saying.
Okay, so he has that. He also has a done for you service where he basically you can buy within 3 months. They handle the entire acquisition from sourcing the property to purchase and renovation, and then they'll like actively do like rentals for you. They partner with platforms like a leasing agency to find you tenants. They do due diligence for you. They focus on cash flow and ROI, so they prioritize properties with high rental yield, targeting like 5 to 5% through short-term rentals like Airbnb, and they'll do that for you. Interesting. So
it's $20 USD a month for this Akiya Hub. We're gonna have to get this guy on the show for sure. He sounds
genius
like
model though.
It's a great model.
Interesting. Oh, connection. Look, I guess my ChatGPT is trying to put us together here. It says connection to missing middle housing. Shu's model intersects with missing middle housing, medium density typologies like duplexes or small multiplexes, because Japan's flexible zoning allows such structures on small lots, unlike restrictive North American codes. For example, Japan's lack of single-family residential, unlike pre-2019 Minneapolis, which we talked about last episodes, permits a 2 to 3 story Akiya to be converted into triplexes or courtyard apartments.
Done.
Fitting that missing middle model.
I guess the question becomes, and this is like my concern with this, like these actually being an investment, because it's probably like I think you could do one of those things where there's a catch, right? And you have to be careful.
It's got to be a catch.
Well, the catch is that the population's in contraction, and unless they decide that they're going to start letting large scale immigration take place, there's really no growth scenario that exists. So maybe you can get a loan and renovate the property and Airbnb it, and because you'll get some travelers who want to use your triplex Airbnb and stay in it. Given that we're talking about this and this guy's got this program and there's tons of interest in this kind of thing,
right?
It might just not actually be that good of an investment, right? Like, and it's not like the property value is going to go up because it's not. Look at the U.S. and Canada. The reason property values are going up is because there's more buyers than houses.
Right.
They have a housing shortage. In Japan, they have the opposite. You're competing with 9 million other vacant houses. So,
well, that's I'm trying to find out like why are more people not buying these? Why is it not more talked about? And there's a few points. That's exactly it. I think so. It talks about high renovation costs and hidden expenses. So it's like you could buy a house for $26,000, but it may need $100K to fix up because of, I guess there's a lot of earthquakes in Japan. Is that a thing? I guess.
There are, yeah. And then I guess there would be property tax too, right? Like your annual property tax, maintenance fees.
Yeah, he mentions low demand. Like that's what I was thinking. I'm assuming investors that are seeking out like Airbnb or like long-term rental, like I'm assuming these are in terrible locations, like where nobody wants to be, or they would be.
Yeah, like because if it was like center ice, well located asset, then they wouldn't be needing to give it away.
Right.
Like, there's a reason that they can't give these things away, and it's because nobody wants them because they're probably not a good deal. I mean, to me, it's like if you're an individual who maybe wants like a nice rural getaway in Japan to go and spend like 1 month of the year, and you're gonna Airbnb it the rest of the year and it's a lifestyle play, it sounds to me like it's kind of like investing in a cottage in
Right.
North America, and you also Airbnb it when you're not using it. But really the true benefit and the true return that you get from it is the fact that you now get a cottage, and maybe it's like it kind of pays for itself. You know, like when people used to like deal drugs in high school and they would do it just to like support their own, like, you know, that's kind of like what that's kind of like, I think the vibe, right?
There's a few other things like Akiya investments are often one-off projects requiring significant time and effort. So to scale a portfolio, I think would take quite a long time, according to what this is saying here.
Yeah, well, like, and I think it's like not a lot of like, I don't like, again, if you're going to be doing like big renovations and whatever, you might as well get a better return. Like take a bigger project where you can, you know, like go build the missing middle, like we talked about in the last one. If you're going to be taking, you know, don't buy a $1 house and spend $100K on it to make like you know, $5,000 a year or whatever, right?
You mentioned something about the Japan's shrinking population. Can you say what's going on with that? It's been shrinking since the 1990s. Is that what you said?
The economy has been shrinking for the 90s. I actually don't know how long the population's been shrinking, but let's just look it up. Japan population.
It also mentions like a weakening yen.
Yeah, so their population looks to have peaked at like 128 million in 2009, and now it's down to about 124 million.
Interesting.
So yeah.
It mentions a weakening yen. I know my fiance tried to trick me into a trip to Japan so she could buy some skincare stuff by bringing up a weakened yen. Like she knew what the yen was about.
Funny, yeah.
Yeah, she's like, we should go. It's a weak yen right now, and I was like, that's not the case. Yeah. What about? I'm just going to look into the visa and residency barriers. So non-residents face challenges linking Akiya ownership to visas, complicating. Like, okay, so like retirees, like the UK buyer, you just need a ton of legal guidance, adding costs. It's not something you can just like do very easily. Visa hurdles that deter buyers seeking Akiya properties. It tied it back into Drake's album because I must have been talking from the last episode. But anyways, I don't know why I brought that out.
Just lots of ChatGPT just listening in on your life right now.
I gotta turn this off or something like that.
We're like living a Black Mirror episode right now.
Okay, did you watch the new episode?
Like people are always like worried that. Yeah, I started watching just the first episode, but I fell asleep. I don't have time to watch it, but it's not good. No,
I also do the same. I put it on, fall asleep, and then try to watch it like one episode over like
spend
7
more
nights.
Time finding out where you fell asleep, trying to find where you fell asleep. Yeah, but no, you don't even like, it's so like 5 years ago, Black Mirror was like really extreme, but now it's like, dude, like we're living this. Like, it's like,
I know
this isn't scary anymore. It's like AI is already trying to ruin my life by like keeping me glued to my phone and like, you know, like serving me like, you know, like changing my voting patterns and selling me products I don't need. Like, you know, it's like, I am Black Mirror. It's all good. I
got a shout out from Fixer. Fixer sent me a message, a DM, which is pretty cool. Fixer this is not a paid ad. Fixer have you tried it yet?
Yeah, you sold me on it, and I literally put it on my Gmail like today or yesterday.
What do you think?
When we were in the office. It's good. Yeah, it startles you when you show up to respond to the email, and there's like a perfectly typed email there.
Yeah, for the listeners, basically this actually, you know what? Wait till I get a discount code from Fixer. Yeah, that's right. I'm giving them way too much clout. But I also almost got one yesterday, an AI that does for my own personal YouTube channel. I do like a lot of like PDFs, not PDFs. What's it called? Like a PowerPoint. You know, like you hit next. What's that called? Presentation. Thank you. I do a lot of presentations, and this like makes them for you. Like an AI that makes these crazy presentations based off of this guy who talked. It's a TED Talk. It's actually a really cool episode. The TED Talk talks about like how to like keep people engaged during a PowerPoint. Anyways, neither here nor there. I got excited about AI for a second, but that's it.
Oh, good, man. You're a big AI tech guy now. So I guess then the last piece that we'll kind of mention here on the Akiyas is this how like it's attracting foreign buyers, right? Because I think like obviously the theme of this show is real estate without borders. It's talking about, you know, people buying properties in places that they don't live. So you could be, I don't care if you're from the US or anywhere else, but you know, are you looking at buying these properties in Japan? Because it seems like there's a lot. They're really gaining the attention of overseas buyers. And the same thing seems to be the case with, you know, you saw it in Spain and Portugal, where, you know, a lot of those digital nomads were moving to these cool places to live, because it's like, you know, if you don't have to be near a workplace anymore, you can go. You know, there's a quote here from some people It says I lived in New York for about 2 years, and then I was basically all over Europe. There's no way they could buy a house in any of these places that I've ever lived in. Anton Werman, a content creator and real estate investor, said. And then he fell in love with Japan after visiting it during a work trip. And he was 32 years old, and he ended up buying a place in Japan. And 6 years later, he owns 7 Akiyas and works as a full-time content creator and real estate investor in Japan. So maybe we can ask that guy to come on the show too.
That's crazy. That actually would be such a cool thing to do for content. Like I need to find this dude and watch his content because it's so unique. And I think it's what a cool thing.
Yeah, he's a YouTuber. He's a big YouTuber. We'll message him.
Is it the guy that we're talking about? Is it Shu?
No, it's Anton Love Werman. Free Houses in Japan is the book he's reading. He wrote a book, Free Houses in Japan. I'm going to message him right now.
Send him a DM.
Oh, I'm gonna.
So our Akiya, okay, before we go, we got 4 minutes, 5 minutes. Before we go, Akiya's a good investment. I don't think many people knew that there were homes basically for free. $1 homes in Japan, which I think when most people think Japan, they think expensive. At least I did before this episode. So it's like, are they a good investment? You know, Werman
they
said
can
something
be.
here.
I think they can be, right?
Werman's got some input on this.
I read his quote. Yeah, or you got some from Chat?
No. No, I didn't. Werman, this next part.
Oh yeah.
He continues, dude.
What does he say?
Werman says yes and no. Today, his properties are successfully bringing in 6 figures in revenue a year. But this wouldn't have happened if he didn't put it on the time and effort. Fair enough. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, with the Japanese culture, language, and the people. I did read a section that I didn't say it out loud that it did mention. Hold on. Bear with me. It said something here about perception of risk and stigma. Is that it? Nope. Hold on. Language and logistical hurdles. No. Cultural and community barriers. Local communities may this is one of the reasons why people aren't buying it. Local communities may resist outsiders, especially foreigners, buying Akiya, fearing disruption or neglect. Cultural norms like participating in neighborhood events are expected but challenging for non-residents. Shu Matsuo emphasizes respecting local sensibilities, but foreigners without Japanese language skills or local ties may face pushback. So the need for cultural integration deters for casual buyers who can't commit to community engagement, reducing the Akiya appeal. And that's crazy because I thought that was nonsense. But here it says from someone that has done this wouldn't have been successful if you didn't put the time and effort into becoming properly acquainted with the Japanese culture, language, and the people. You need to create a good community and good social network in Japan in order to make it successful. You cannot come without understanding the culture, without understanding how Japan works, and just throw money at it, because that would be a little bit of a money pit. Crazy. If you're trying to blend in and do it the right way, I think there's definitely a lot of opportunity. But more so, I think there's an opportunity to buy cheap real estate and actually utilize the real estate. Crazy. That was the best part. You gotta
Can't wait to get Anton on the show. We got two amazing guests now that we got to go after. So if anybody knows Anton or what was the other guy's name? Shuo?
Yeah, Matsuo Shu Matsuo.
Yeah, we would love to have them on the show. So if you can, let them know, and we'll interview them. And otherwise, we're gonna go find them anyways.
That's right. Unreal.
Yeah.
What an app.
Cool. Yeah, that was. I can't wait to dive into this a little bit more. I think I want to get it's one of those things that we can talk about it as much as we can from the outside looking in, but until we're actually on a line with one of these guys talking and asking them all of the detailed questions. The same thing for Italy, right? I think that's just gonna completely change the game. So
I'm gonna send Werman a DM after this.
I already did. I DM'd him. So, but you can too.
It. I'm going to. Awesome.
We'll get him.
Thanks for listening. Yeah, that was honestly, that was cool. That was a good episode. I appreciate it. If you guys can give us a follow, like the podcast, give us a review. I know we had a few reviews about the lack of communication and delays. Please be mindful. That was my internet in Mexico. I'm back in Toronto. There was no delays here. So maybe if you're the listener that left the review, maybe you can listen to this episode and change the review because it's smooth sailing now, baby. We're a rocket ship now that we're back in high Wi-Fi zone. That's it.
Amazing. Well, thanks everybody for listening. As always, just ask if you share this episode with one person, ideally someone who's going to hit the subscribe button or get benefit from it at least. And if you get a chance, please hit the subscribe button as well. Leave us a review or a comment, and we'll see you next week.